Hello, my name is Ben,
And my name is Josh.
and welcome back to FPL Graduates. We're back here again. We're going to be reviewing our teams from the Euro 2020 group stages. And the fantasy football been a good little bit of fun, hasn't it?
It has indeed. It's been something a little extra on the side of the Euros. I've quite enjoyed the Euros so far, to be fair, and it's only going to get better. So, should we get cracked into it? Because there's a lot to go through in this video, isn't there?
Yeah, so we've got to go through our Game Week 2 teams, our Game Week 3 teams, and then look ahead to the round of 16. So I'm going to quickly skip over my Game Week 2 team because it was not good. I had two returns all game week. And that was Spinazzola and Donnarumma. And I just no matter what, I was in the mud really, and probably didn't help. Maybe that I didn't limitless, but of course wanted to be different. I was doing it for the vibes. So I'm not really going to talk too much into that team because it wasn't good at all. It was a bit of a shambles. Josh, how did you get on in game week 2?
Sort of similar, to be fair. It weren't a good week. Obviously we had Lukaku. He was like one of the main captaincy options that week. He was in the build-up. If you remember, De Bruyne came on and changed that game. Yarmolenko was the main man for me. 10 points. He obviously got those returns, and then I had the Spinazzola and Safonov. 6-pointer each. The big L of the week though was Lucas Hernandez when he didn't play and already subbed him on. You just hate to see it. It's just so frustrating when you do that. But yeah, I only got 41 points that week, so not ideal for me. It's definitely been the worst week so far, and that was on the limitless. So just goes to show maybe the limitless chip isn't what it's made out to be, you know?
Yeah, interesting because I used the limitless the next week and still didn't get as high a score as you did in match day 3. So talk us through that. What was it, 80-pointer?
Yeah, so I wildcarded for match day 3 because I had a decent team, but I knew I could use it because there's a lot of rotation and a lot of teams already out, so a lot of teams would be conceding a few goals. 80 points. Depay obviously should have probably been the captain. I was live before the game week started or match day started. Everyone was like Depay, De Bruyne, Depay, De Bruyne. I was set on De Bruyne. I think De Bruyne was quite unlucky not to come away with 12 points himself. He had the assist to Lukaku that was onside. I don't know what anyone says. It was onside. And then obviously he assisted Vermaelen's header that went in off Hradecki. So he was quite unlucky, in my opinion, not to get 12. Obviously Depay them well. Perisic saved me, though. 10 points against Scotland. Unreal captain that was. Saved me from having to use captain on the last day, which was nice. Havertz got a goal. Myler got a goal, which was unreal. Great result for Denmark. That was great to watch. Double up on Italy defence. They just never disappoint. 3 clean sheets in a row. And then Vermaelen out of nowhere getting an assist. Nearly a goal. It was absolute limbs when that went in.
Yeah, I can imagine. And wow, what a wild card decision. You've probably got to think quite carefully about who you're going to pick for the round of 16 now. But we'll have a look at how I did in the game week that's just gone, match day 3. Not quite as good as Josh, but still a relatively decent score of 62. Again, I was a bit concerned about the captaincy. It was on De Bruyne. He got the 6 points. Should have been on the pie, shouldn't it? But it's one of those things. And I twisted to Kai Havertz. He got me a goal on 14 points. Can't complain too much about that. Other notable things that happened was, of course, Dumfries coming off at half time. Alba getting an assist. I mean, can't ask too much more from him. Pretty buzzing with that. But yeah, a couple of still disappointing picks in there. But yeah, I mean, this Euros has been very hard to predict what's going to happen. And if you've got a good score at the moment, you're doing pretty well going into the round of 16. But yeah, we'll look ahead now to the round of 16. And Josh, what's your strategy going into it?
Well, I have no chips left, so for me it's going to be almost predicting who's winning the games because I can't change my team too much going forward now. I know you get, I think, like 5 transfers when it comes up to the later rounds, the semis and the finals, so not too many moves can be made. I'm playing it quite safe. I'm actually in some cases quadrupling up on certain teams. We'll have to wait and see until we go into the draft. Are you playing your what? Well, everyone has unlimited transfers this week, but are you going wild card in the quarters?
Yeah, I'm thinking it'd make more sense in it to wildcard in the quarterfinals. I've kind of spread my players around, and I think I've got at least one player in every single game going into the round of 16, which is quite good. I think the most I've done is a triple up on one team. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I basically woke up this morning, made the team, and I was like, that's pretty good, and I think I'll probably run with it. But yeah, I think quarterfinals, wild card it, because I think there's going to be a couple of players who I'm not going to be happy with. They might have a bit tougher fixtures because I've obviously gone for a couple of players in the lesser sort of footballing nations and who have got maybe an easy draw in the round of 16 compared to what they could have in the quarterfinal. So yeah, I may as well wild card in the quarterfinal, see what happens. I mean, it's not been great from me for this Euros, but we said from the start it's just going to be vibes, and we're not really going to be too bothered about what kind of score we get. And I think you've got to be relaxed playing this. I mean, you probably should be relaxed playing FPL as well, but different ball game, innit?
Yeah, it is a little bit. I know a lot of people are looking forward to FPL. It's obviously come out already as well. If you don't know that already, FPL's live, so we'll be making content probably after the Euros because there's still 49 days until the season starts, the Premier League season. So
not like we're counting.
Loads of days to go until that deadline. So we'll be making loads of content and the build up for that. But yeah, shall we get my team up and I'll go through mine first, as you've got probably more interesting stuff to talk about. For me, I've sort of gone heavy on Netherlands and Italy, and then a little bit on France, mainly. So I've gone double up in defence for Italy. I've gone Berardi and Immobile, so sort of two attackers. I think Immobile is quite a good captaincy shout against Austria. Austria weren't very good. I think they're probably one of the weakest teams actually in the next round. So I'm expecting goals from Immobile. I think he's a good option. Does mean I'm not without Lukaku, but I'm sort of okay with that. With De Bruyne in there, Portugal's not an easy fixture, that's for sure. I think they'll score, but who scores, we're not sure, obviously. And as I mentioned, Dutch. I've got Stecklenburg on the bench in case somehow Italy do concede, which I don't really see happening. We've got Dumfries, who's been insane for Netherlands on that right-hand side. Wijnaldum, didn't have him last week. I had him for the first 2 weeks. And then Depay as well. So I'm expecting big things from Netherlands. Czech Republic, although they're not too bad, don't see them causing them too many problems, to be honest. They weren't that great against England. France triple up. We've gone with Kimpembe and Hernandez. Again, I don't expect them conceding to Switzerland. Switzerland have been okay, but against France, surely they're not going to concede too many goals. Benzema as well, because I think, like you mentioned, I think on the TikTok live, he's their sort of main man. I've been really disappointed with Mbappe this tournament. He's just not took his chances. And Benzema's on penalties, as we've seen. So he's a really good shout, and only 10 million as well. Other names that I haven't mentioned so far, we've got Myler staying in there from the... I think I've had him all the way through, actually, other than in match day 2 when they face Belgium. Against Wales, I don't see Wales causing too many problems, and I think Denmark are actually quite a good team. And we're unlucky at the start of the tournament for obvious reasons. On the bench, we've got Kimmich against England. He's playing right wing back, and I think he gets forward quite a lot. We're sure against Portugal. Obviously, Shaw will be on that side. We imagine. We're not sure because Southgate's rotating like crazy. So there might be some space in behind there against England. And then also Sarabia, if he does play, which I expect him to after that great performance against Slovakia, he's quite cheap as well, 6.5 million. So not too shabby. It will probably change. I'm not going to lie to you before Saturday's games. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I like it. A few good options. You've gone very heavy on the big teams, which is a strategy that could pay off. If those teams perform, you're looking quite good. We saw Spain; they kind of hit on the gas and kind of everything started clicking for them in the last game. Yeah. And we could see that from any one of these big nations that maybe have a easier sort of route to the final. I think it's definitely sensible, getting all those Netherlands players in. But you got to ask yourself, it's a difficult one because I think you've got to have German and England players from that quarterfinal stage onwards. Yeah. How do you plan on getting whichever team goes through?
It's going to be difficult. To be honest, I'm not really that keen on England assets anyway at the minute. We've seen how we've been playing, only 2-1-0 wins. I don't see us scoring a lot of goals. So going forward, that's not really an issue. It'd be more defensively where I'd look at England. And I think and even still, they're quite expensive assets to own. Maguire and Stones are 5.5 million. I think the fullbacks are the same. And with the fullbacks, you never really know who's starting. So I'm trying to avoid England. Germany, though, they're looking decent. They've got some good players there. Gossens is definitely someone to keep an eye on. But again, he's only 5 million, so he's quite interchangeable with those free transfers you get. And then in attack, again, they rotate a lot. Even yesterday against Hungary, I think we had 3 or 4 different players playing up that front. They were quite dynamic in that sort of way. So we'll wait and see. And I think with these teams, especially Italy, is one of the main teams that I wanted to target because I think they're going to go quite far. I know they have Belgium if they go through and Belgium go through, but I could easily see them beating Belgium. Belgium have not looked really at the races just yet.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I may as well show my team now, and then we'll go into maybe a couple of questions from the comments section.
Yeah.
So this is what I've got as a setup right now. So I've kind of spread around the teams a little bit more than Josh has done. So the most I got is a triple up on the Italians, which seems to be a triple up on the Netherlands. So I've gone for my strikers. I've gone Lukaku. I believe he's probably going to score against that Portuguese defence. They don't look too great defensively. I think there's going to be goals in that game. I think Lukaku and Ronaldo is probably a toss-up to which one you can go for, and it should be decent. I've gone Lukaku for this one because I do think from open play especially, he's looking a lot better than Ronaldo. I know Ronaldo is Ronaldo. He gets goals, but Lukaku from open play looks more dangerous. And if there's a striker I want there, is someone who I know can score from nothing in the prime of his career. I've got Depay in there as well, and Benzema. I mean, Benzema, like we said, he's becoming that main man very quickly in that French team, and we didn't think he would be. We thought potentially he might not play all the time, but yeah, he's in there for me. I've again, just like you, gone Wijnaldum. I've gone a little bit lighter on the midfield. Due to the fact that I've got 10 million plus strikers. I've got Locatelli in there and Damsgaard. Now, I like both of these picks. Locatelli, one that can, burst from the midfield. I'm not expecting too many returns for him, but, if he picks up an assist or a goal, that'll do me just fine. Damsgaard as well. I'm liking him. He plays very high up the pitch, kind of similar to Marla. So, yeah, I think, cheap option, I'll take it. And then, the other midfielders I've got Kai Havertz against England. I think if anyone's going to break the English arts, it's going to be Kai Havertz. So, if he does, then at least I got the points for it. And then I've got Kulusevski.
Yeah,
I've probably butchered the pronunciation, but he looks very good in the last group game. Didn't he get a couple of assists, something like that?
Assists,
I was quite impressed by him. He didn't. I think he didn't play in the first game, something like that. He was injured or something, and he's come in. He's done really well. I'm led to believe he's going to play up front as well. So I'm kind of liking that. And then in defence, I've gone Milo as well. I've been really impressed by him. He's probably been the standout fullback with Spinazzola and Dumfries this tournament. I've also got Pavard in. That's probably the one player I'm not sure on. It'll be Pavard or Kimpembe. It'll be one of them who I put in. And then the keepers, Donnarumma and Simon from Spain. He's like 5.1. And I thought, you know what? If Donnarumma doesn't keep a clean sheet, at least we got, someone who potentially could get a few save points as well. So, yeah, that's how we're looking at the moment. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Yeah, I really like it. There's some decent picks in there. I had Damsgaard in one of my initial teams. I think he's a great pick as well for Denmark. I really just don't see Wales causing Denmark too many problems, to be honest. Although they've played well, Wales, I think it ends here sort of thing. Lukaku's definitely someone that I've looked at. Same with Ronaldo. I just think for this round, I'm just going Immobile over them. You're not wrong picking either of them. So if anyone, I've seen a few comments saying, why not Ronaldo? Why not Lukaku, sorry. You can pick any of them. They're all really good picks, aren't they? So, Locatelli as well. Like you said, he can burst from midfield, which is a really nice addition. He's quite cheap as well, which is ideal. And I like Simon. I think he was one of my picks, but I had to go a little bit cheaper with old Stecklenburg.
Yeah, and it's just a shame with the strikers that you got those three, and there's so many options up there. I think the one guy who is probably unlucky not to have made it into my team is Poulsen of Denmark.
Yeah,
I'm really liking how he's playing, and if there's any team you want to go far this tournament, it's got to be Denmark, and this tournament. And yeah, I'll be supporting the Danes. I'll get my Denmark shirt on for their game. And yeah, I mean, is there any other players that you can think of that you're kind of like, I want to get him in my team, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do it?
I think the main one is going to be Ronaldo, just because he's going to score. The problem is, I just don't know if Portugal are going to go through. Like, Ronaldo can play his heart out, and they still won't probably go through. The way they've been playing at the minute, they're not looking too good, Portugal. But you just know he's going to score. He's scored in every single game so far. He's just doing Ronaldo type things. You know what I mean? He doesn't score maybe the fanciest of goals, but he's just getting it done. Like, I've seen someone speak about how like he just never misses penalties. Like, that in itself is just, we know from Bruno Fernandes in FPL that it's just fantastic as a fantasy manager if someone's going to score every time they get a penalty or a chance. So yeah, he'd be the main man for me. I'm not too bothered about Lukaku because I've got De Bruyne. And like we've seen in the last game, if Lukaku scores, it tends to be from a De Bruyne assist. Their link up is fantastic. So, yeah, anyone else you thinking of?
Oh, in terms of anyone else I'm thinking of, I don't know. I'm kind of quite happy. Maybe one of the Italian, players who play a bit further forward. I think they've kind of turned it on in the last sort of couple of games. We maybe thought that their attacking assets weren't maybe good, but we've seen they score a lot of goals, and I think I'd probably be, maybe an Insigne, an Immobile, or someone like that that's a bit more attacking than Locatelli. Would probably be my only concern. Other than that, I think in terms of the template, it's very much set. And maybe if you're looking at outsiders that I'd want to look to get in, Forsberg, maybe he's looked really good. He's probably been one of the players of the tournament so far.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah, he's been their talisman for Sweden, hasn't he? I think a lot of people thought Isaac might have got the goals, but he seems to have stepped up and took that, which is good. But if everyone wants to get their comments in, any questions they have for their round 16 teams, just chuck them in now, and we'll answer a few before we finish.
Yeah, we got one here straight away. Thoughts on Muller? What are we thinking about him?
Well, he was injured, wasn't he? He trained a little bit before that game yesterday against Hungary.
Came off the bench as well.
Yeah, he played 20 minutes, I think it was. So, yeah, it's not bad. It's just obviously if he's not really that fit, is he going to start against England? You got to think about that. It is Tuesday, so we've got a few days to see if he's all right. I'm sure we'll hear a presser on that as well. But for me, are you thinking about him as an option?
I think he's an option, but I don't think he's an option to the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
is what I'm thinking, and I think that goes for pretty much every German and English asset, really.
I don't see it being a high-scoring game, that's for sure.
Patrick Van Aanholt, is he a shout? Because he's kind of been a bit underlooked, I think, with Dumfries doing so well. Are we kind of looking the wrong way in terms of fullbacks? Because Van Aanholt, he gets forward a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, he probably gets forward just as much as Dumfries. Just Dumfries been getting those attacking returns. I think it's just a massive risk because we've seen Dumfries. He's literally in the 6-yard box, ready for those crosses. I think it's because the crosses are coming from Patrick's side because he's so good at crossing. That's why we're seeing Dumfries get those goals. So I'd probably stick with Dumfries. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'd probably stick with him as well. Yeah, I don't know what the price of Van Aanholt is, but I can't imagine it's
probably similar.
Too dissimilar. Yeah. Let's have a look here. Pogba and Immobile, or Insigne and Mbappe.
It's a tough one, isn't it? I'll probably lean towards Insigne and Mbappe just because Pogba. He looks like he's going to score and he looks like he's going to grab an assist, but he just never has so far.
Oh, he's got one assist.
He's got one assist.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, I think Insigne is probably as threatening as Immobile, and then Mbappe's got to turn up at some stage, surely. Like, do you know what I mean?
Mbappe's a big game player, and
exactly.
He was unlucky not to return in game week 1 as well. So yeah, so Dumfries and Van Aanholt same price. So you may as well go Dumfries, right?
Yeah, and plus that Swiss defense does not look too good. Where can I send my team to give me a tip? You can send it over to Instagram. With it getting through the DMs, there has actually been so many the past few days, about like 70 messages I think I woke up to today. So yeah, we're getting through. I've got through a few of them today, so we'll get through as quick as we can. But if we don't get it to you, I can only apologise.
We are trying, but we're both very busy. Very busy. Who is a better asset to get? Havertz, Yarmolenko, Bale, or Forsberg?
For this week, I'd go Forsberg out of those four. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'd probably say Forsberg as well, to be fair. And I'm kind of tempted to bring him in over Havertz, but like I said, if anyone's going to break the English hearts, it'll be him, and at least I'll get the points for it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are actually sleeping on Ukraine as well. I thought attacking wise, other than the Austria game, they've actually been quite good. So maybe Yarmolenko, Yaremchuk, those kind of lads, they look quite good against Austria still as well. So maybe look at you. I think that Ukraine-Sweden game could go either way.
Definitely. Are you actively replying on Twitter? Yeah, if you tweet us your teams, we should reply to you. We've been trying. If you just keep tweeting us, we will eventually get around to it. But as we said, we've been very busy. But we will get around to answering like your questions. If you send us your teams, we'll get around to answering it. How many points have both of you got?
I have to double check quickly. I think I want to say
ahead.
Yeah, 192 I'm on at the minute, which puts me about 47k in the world. Before the games yesterday, I was in 20k, but that Spain game absolutely done me because everyone and their nan's dog decided to score.
Yeah, I'm on 161. It puts me about 300k, so not quite as good, but yeah.
It makes a change for me to be winning for once.
Will Kuleveski start? He hasn't started yet due to COVID. Do you think they'll trust him to start and play a full 90?
He's got to after that performance. He changed the game for Sweden when he came on. He's one of their best players as well. I said it in the videos that we did before this tournament started. Is for Sweden's best picks. I picked him because he's decent. He's not too expensive either. 7 million in that midfield bracket. I'd actually say he's quite cheap. So yeah, I think he's got to start. A lot of players have had COVID, so the more time there is, the better he'll progress from that. So,
yeah, definitely. Kuleveski or Forsberg, if you've got to pick one, that's a tough one, isn't it?
It is. Forsberg's got obviously, I think he's on more set pieces than Kulusevski. Who would you go for?
Kulusevski, I think. Because I think if he starts up front, he'll be doing some damage up there. That's what I'm hoping for, anyway. Yeah, we'll take like one or two more questions here. So keep putting them in the comments, and we'll answer them. If we don't answer your question from today, just put them down onto our Instagram, and we'll answer them there. Here's one. If I have KDB from the tough matches, is it a mistake?
I would say having Kevin De Bruyne in any instance in fantasy is a mistake. Like he can turn up. We've seen him turn up like that Denmark game. They really needed someone to turn up. He was there. He put them on their back and got the win. I think although Belgium haven't really got going yet, I can still see them progressing quite far. That Italy-Belgium game is going to be unreal to see who comes out on top. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, not get too ahead of ourselves and kind of say they're in that quarter final. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if they both get through. That'll be a cracker of a game. So last question: do you think Jackie Grealish will start?
If Gary Neville was manager, absolutely not. Apparently, I don't. Have you seen that leaked lineup? That or not leaked lineup, but his predicted lineup. Terrible.
Yeah.
He's got to start. Mount's still out with COVID. Well, with COVID, that precautionary step they took. So, I think he's just shown how valuable he is. He got the assist for that goal for Sterling. For me, I think he just plays the same team. In my opinion, I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think he's got to go for Grealish again. I think he's been unlucky not to have played a part in every single game from the start. To be honest, so I think Grealish will play. I'm pretty confident on that. Southgate hasn't tweaked his lineups too much. I certainly thought before the tournament he'd be changing it a bit more than he has. But that rounds it up, Josh.
Yeah, it does. Thanks everyone for watching and tuning in. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button because we are so close to 1,000, and that would be an awesome milestone to hit for both of us. So make sure you hit that sub button. And anything else you want to say, Ben?
Yeah, make sure to like the video, follow us on all the socials. We're so close to 30k on TikTok. We're getting to 1.5k on Twitter. I don't know what we're on Instagram. Let me check quick.
Nearly 1.4.
Yeah, nearly 1.4 on there. So make sure you follow us on everything. And I've been Ben.
I've been Josh.
And we'll see you guys
later. Have a good match day, everyone.